Hello, YouTube. Do you remember what it was like just 4 years ago? What all the smart people were telling us? They were all saying that there was no way that Donald Trump could win the presidency. And yet they did. He did. Now, in the 4 years that have followed, let's just take a look at a timeline I created to describe how the ruling elites, and that includes not just the Democrats, but the never Trumpers in the Republican Party, and of course the globalists that finance them. What did they do? Did they accept the results of the election? No, they did not. The first thing they did is they tried some recounts, demanding recounts, in the hopes of what? Changing the election results. And when that went nowhere, they tried lobbying the Electoral College. Why? To change the results of the election. And when that didn't work, they used the fruits of their illegal spying campaign against Donald Trump to attempt to blackmail him. Uh, that didn't work at all. In fact, that's why Comey's gone. And then they started to get a little desperate. And they started to talk about maybe using the 25th Amendment as a way to get rid of him. That went nowhere because no one was going to go for that. So they decided to go with a special prosecutor. Now, they just knew that Mueller would use his wide range of powers and no oversight to find something on Donald Trump to impeach him. And they kept that probe going as long as they could. Okay, they used it to win the House back in the 2018 election, but eventually they had to give up the ghost. Okay, and they admitted that they couldn't impeach him on the results, so they gave up. No, then they went for the Ukrainian call. Okay, and they did. They used that to impeach him. Okay, and when that didn't work, when the politicians that had been bought and paid for by the globalists, when all that failed, they decided that they were going to handle things directly. So the globalists unleashed a pandemic to destroy the economy in the hopes that that would mean the end of Trump's reelection hopes. But they're still nervous, aren't they? Okay, and then they paid their militias, the Black Lives Matter people and the Antifa people, to create riots and to create chaos within the United States so they could blame the chaos on Trump. Again, they're not so sure that it's working. And now that the riots are starting to be counterproductive, now that people are talking about policing their own neighborhoods with their own guns, and it looks like they might actually lose control of the country, they've backed off that, and now they're going back to fear-mongering this epidemic, all in the hopes of preventing the economic recovery from happening before the election. All right, and they don't know if any of this is going to work. And these people don't like knowing. They like to have a rigged election. Like when Obama was running against Romney, when they knew that no matter who won, they'd win. But this election, they don't. They're worried because they know that another 4 years of Donald and they might end up in jail. Yeah, yes, there are things in the works. So do you think they're going to give up? No, they're not. I don't know what's coming next, but I know that these people are evil. Okay, and they have to neutralize Donald Trump, and they have to do it quickly. Okay, because the politicians that they have bought and paid for, the ones that have served them so well for decades now, uh, don't have much of an answer for them. This is their answer. Some senile old man hiding in a basement somewhere. All right, relying on identity politics to win the election. By the way, you know why they like identity politics? It doesn't cost them anything. You know, um, so there you go. They're desperate. All these things that are going on right now are a sign of the globalists' desperation. The riots, the pandemic, this Black Lives Matter nonsense. Okay, it's all them panicking, and they can talk all the smack they want. Look at this. This was just a few days ago. Why Trump won't run for a second term. Uh, do they really think that anybody's going to believe any of this? Well, that's what happens when you're desperate. You just try everything like a drowning man grasping at anything. So, there you go. Unless there's an assassination, okay, there's going to be election. And when this election happens, no one is going to accept the results. You think the globalists are going to stop if Trump wins? No. They're only going to get nastier and meaner. And if Biden wins, it won't be because of it was a fair election. And I certainly am not going to accept Biden as my president. And I plan on revoking my consent to be governed by the federal government if that happens. So either way, it's civil war. And it all starts in November. Anyway, prepare yourselves for the inevitable, and we'll see you on the other side. Have a nice day, YouTube.